Flow Yoga on Monday. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So let's come to the back end of our mat here. Allow your knees to flare open. Push the bricks towards the top of your mat and allow your arms to stretch out in front and let your forehead relax onto the earth. Let your hips get nice and heavy. And let's take this opportunity to allow ourselves to become present for our yoga practice. So allow your eyes to close, and even though they're closed, see if you can roll them in and upward as if you're looking to that space that is making contact on the earth, that space between the eyebrows. The doors that open to your higher intuition. The part of you that always knows what's right for you. So breathing into that space, that deep inner knowingness that resides within you. And as you sigh out through your mouth, let go of anything that you no longer need to hold on to. And with that, really feel that deep state of relaxation wrap over you like a blanket. Now let your hips drop heavy into your heels. And then allow for a gentle sway here in your hips. And kind of let yourself rock forward and back over the forehead. As if your mat is swaying from side to side. As if your mat is a surfboard and the water is rocking it gently. Beautiful. Now slowly in your next breath in, I'd like you to lift your forehead gently away from the earth. Let your gaze come forward and take your hands really far out in front, shoulder width apart, open your fingers. Now pull your hips away from your heels. Begin to round your spine like a cat. Move forward until your shoulders line up just over your wrist. Good. As you exhale, pull back into that child's pose. Inhale, coil the belly in, rounding the upper back, move forward like a wave. And then exhale, draw back into that child's pose. Now let's move that way forward. As you inhale, pull the navel in, round in the upper back. Now let your hips come through. Arms stay long and strong. And let your gaze come to the horizon, deep stretch in your belly. And as you exhale, gently draw back into that child's pose. Inhale, round the spine. Let your heart come through. Lift your gaze to the horizon. And exhale, draw back into that child's pose. Now continue at your own pace, waving through the spine as if you're an ocean wave. And as it starts to feel a little bit better, you can lift your gaze a little bit higher. As you exhale, pull back. 2 more times, nice, slow movements, very controlled. Opening the front of the body. You should feel a really nice, deep stretch through the back of the body as you wave forward. As you come into that high push-up position or high cobra here, feel the front of the body opening. Good, and then come back one more time into that child's pose. Now this time come forward. I'd like you to stay in that high cobra here and just gently kind of move your hips side to side and then kind of move your feet as if you're swimming, looking over the shoulders. Make sure you're not collapsing through your shoulders, but really press the floor away with your hands. Good, and then slowly as you breathe out, soften your elbows, and I'd like you to take a little prostration here on the earth. Stretch your arms out in front. Again, forehead is on the ground. Draw the navel in towards the spine and just feel that connection to the ground. Inhale, begin to float the forehead away. I'd like you to come up onto your forearms as we make our way into Sphinx Pose. Elbows are right in front of the shoulders. Open your fingers and pull the elbows towards you as you lift your heart as we make our way into Sphinx position. And then bending that right leg, and see if you can look back over your right shoulder towards that right foot. And then gently releasing the right leg, bending the left leg and looking over that left shoulder towards your left foot. Good, gently releasing the left leg. I'd like you to drop onto your left forearm, left hand to the side of your face, roll onto the left side of your body. And now bend both knees here. Now allow that top right knee to float up and see if you can take the leg straight up towards the sky. Good, as you exhale, let the leg drop down. Inhale, pull the knee to the side of your rib cage and extend the leg towards the sky. Good, exhale, lowering down. Couple more times, bending that knee, extending it up and lowering it down. Good, once more, inhale, reach the leg to the sky. Let this right hand reach to the back of your calf and hold the leg. Try to straighten it out. If you need to bend the knee a little bit, that's okay. Feel the nice hamstring stretch and glute stretch. Good, one more breath. Good, and as you exhale, lowering that right leg down, straightening the left leg out, rolling back onto your belly, taking the right elbow out in front, right hand to the side of your face, roll all the way onto the right side of your body, bending your knees for stability. Pick up that top left leg and extend the leg towards the sky, lowering it down. Inhale, knee pulls in, pointing towards the ceiling, and extend that leg and lower down. 3 more times, warming up the leg, opening up the back of the hamstring and the glutes. Good, now this last time, inhale, lift that leg, hold it here, taking that left hand to the back of the calf here. You can soften the knee if you like. Feeling that stretch. 2 more breaths. Feel free to grab the bottom of your foot if you can reach it. Remember, don't overstretch right now. We're still warming up the body. Good, now slowly as you exhale, floating that leg down, gently rolling onto your belly, sliding the hands to the sides of your body so that the wrist is under the elbows. And I'd like you to press up into your tabletop position. Walk your knees directly underneath your hips. Inhale, glide the heart through, lift your tail. You can tuck your toes under. As you exhale, rounding your spine, chin to throat. Inhale, heart glides through, lift the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine. Wonderful, 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Deep inhales and exhales, moving the prana through the body. Wonderful. Now slowly inhale. Let the heart glide through. Let's make our way into our first downward facing dog of our practice. Begin to pedal out the feet here. Feel that nice, gorgeous stretch here in your spine and the back of the legs. Strong arms. Now let your gaze come forward towards your hands. As you inhale, allow the left foot to step through into runner's lunge. Let your right knee catch the floor. As you inhale, let the arms open towards the sky. Feel the front of the body opening and expanding. As you exhale, bring your hands towards the earth. Curl the back, right toes under, step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, gazing forward, stepping the right foot through into runner's lunge. Let the left knee catch the earth. Inhale, allow the arms to rise overhead. Good. As you exhale, let the hands frame the front foot. Lift the back left knee and step back into your downward facing dog. Paddling up the feet here. Now gazing forward, back to your hands. Inhale, left foot steps through into runner's lunge, keeping the back knee floating right now. This is where you could use your bricks. I find it very helpful to use the bricks in the full runner's lunge. It allows you to extend your heart forward. Really keep your hips square here. Good, and as you exhale, draw your hips back and see if we can straighten that front leg out just a little bit. Slight knee bend. Let your body gently melt and relax. Breathing deeply here. Two more breaths. Wonderful. As you exhale, melting back into that runner's lunge and allow the right knee to come towards the floor. Take both hands on the inside of your left foot. You can use the bricks and place them on their lower setting. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to soften your elbows and land the right forearm to one brick and then the left forearm. Feeling that deep hip opening here. Now make sure that your shoulders aren't rounding, keeping the heart elongated and towards the horizon. Squeezing the inside of the left knee towards the left shoulder. Three more breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly in your next breath in, climbing back up onto your hands, lifting through your heart. Now pick up the back right foot. Feel that quad stretch here. Keep your gaze forward towards the horizon. And if your foot doesn't come very far off the floor, that's okay, as long as you're feeling that pulling sensation through the front of that right hip and thigh. Good, now gently drop that foot on the inside, rolling more on the inside of your right knee. Walk your hands towards the right side, turn and pivot, and turn your left foot to the side now. Take your hands on the floor. And now we're in that gate pose variation of the posture. So I'd like you to lift that left arm up now as you open your body. Really feel the twist from the navel. Make sure you lift out of that right shoulder. Good, and as you exhale, let that arm float back down. Inhale, allow the left arm to float back overhead. Good, as you exhale, let that arm float back down. Once more, inhale, lift. Good, as you exhale, let that arm drop down. I'd like you to walk the hands over to the left side, sorry, the right side of your mat. And really reach the arms out and see if your forehead can either rest on the bricks or down to the floor. Good, now inhale, coil the belly in, walk your hands back in towards yourself, walk them over to the left side, turn and pivot, keeping the knee right underneath that right hip, and then keeping the left foot firm on the earth and let your body drop. Now make sure that your knee stays underneath that right hip and that your left foot doesn't roll in. Your head may touch the floor, but it may not. It's okay if it doesn't. Feel that deep right side stretch in the body, the serratus anterior. Good, now slowly inhale, float the torso up, walk your hands back center. Gently turn that left heel in, walk your hands back into the diagonal here, bending that knee. Feel that hip opening. So make sure that left knee goes right over ankle. If it's too much, you pull a little bit back. Yeah, so your hip is dropping down, you're still on your right knee. And you should feel a deep hip stretch here. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Beautiful. Curl your right toes under. Walk your hands back center. Now lift that right knee and take your feet to a wide-legged forward fold here. Tuck your feet a little bit more so that it's easier for your body to drop in between the legs. And just say no with your head and yes. Pulling those quadriceps away from the knees. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. Slowly as you inhale, I like you to float the torso up, climbing up on the hands. You can always bring your hands on top of that brick. Now gently as you exhale, soften in towards that left knee, side lunge here. Side lunges are a wonderful way to open the hips, increase the flexibility in the groin. Inhale back through center, exhale into that right knee. Inhale through center, exhale into the left knee. And we'll just gently move side to side here as we open those hips, the groin muscles, hamstrings. Using deep breaths in and out. Wonderful. Now when you get into that left knee, I'd like you to look towards the back of your mat. I'd like you to turn and pivot. Walk your hands all the way around to the back side of your mat. So now your right leg is in front, left leg is back. Drop your hips as below that front right knee. Now look towards the horizon. Now we're on the other side here. So it's really important that that back knee lifts so that we get that full stretch through that left psoas muscle. Watch out that we're not rounding our back or that our buttocks are lifting. Keep it right underneath that front right knee. Good, and as you exhale, draw your hips back. See if you can straighten that front leg out as much as you can. Keeping the hips square. So think of pulling that right hip an inch back as your left hip rolls a little forward. Soften your shoulders, let the head hang heavy. Good, 2 more breaths here. Nice full breaths in and out. Try not to rush the breath. One more inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Now slowly as you exhale, lower onto the left knee. Take both hands on the inside of your right foot. Turn the bricks back on its flat side and see if we can melt our forearms down. If that's too low, you can always turn them up higher to accommodate what feels right to you. So make sure that your heart is to the horizon, that we're not rounding the upper back, that we're not pulling our hips back. We want to make sure that those hips come forward, square to the back of your mat here. Elongate through the neck, really lengthen there. Squeezing the right inner thigh towards our right shoulder. Good, 2 more breaths here. You're doing great. Wonderful. Now slowly climb up onto your hands. Make sure hands are right under the shoulders. I'd like you to bend that back leg. Now it's okay if you can take it far off the ground. If you get a Charlie horse in the back of that left hamstring, keep the foot towards the earth. Keep lifting through your heart. Keep drawing that navel in and up. Don't dump in your low back. Keep the core engaged. Good. Now slowly bring that leg towards the earth. I'd like you to bring your hands towards the ground, turning the back right foot in towards the back side of your mat. Walking your hands over to the left side, turn. Let your right foot turn as well so that they're both pointing towards the front. Your left knee is right underneath your hip. As you inhale, right arm lifts towards the sky. Open your chest. Exhale, let the arm flow down. Inhale, let the arm flow back up. Exhale, let it come down. Beautiful. Once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let it come down. Now walk your hands to the left side, into the left corner. I'd like you to really reach through your arms here. Let your forehead kiss the earth. Make sure that your right foot is glued to the earth. Think of sending the energy more into the pinky toe side of that right foot so that we're not rolling the foot in. Really reach through that right arm so you feel the right side of the body stretching. Good. Now inhale, float the forehead away. Walk your hands in, come center, walk your hands all the way towards that left diagonal. Really reach through your left arm and let your head just hang. Most likely will not touch the floor, and that's okay. Now you should really feel it through the left side of your body. Beautiful. One more breath. Now slowly as you inhale, begin to float that torso up. Walk your hands back in towards the center. Good. Turn that right heel in so that your right toes are turning out. Now walk your hands back into the diagonal, and you'll feel it more as soon as you start to bend that knee more at the front, letting your hips drop here. And you should be on the inside of that left knee. If you're right on top, if that leg is too close in, it's going to put a lot of pressure. So don't be afraid to take that further away so you're on the inside of it. Good. 2 more breaths. Keep sinking those hips down. You're up on your fingertips. Beautiful. Now curling those left toes under, take your hands back to the floor. Now pick up that left knee, turn your body back to the side. Take your feet a little bit wider. And what I could do right now is just turn your heels in, toes out, and bend your knees a little bit so that you can really let your body fold here. Getting into the deeper parts of the hamstring by turning your feet open. You might feel it in different places than when your feet are parallel. Good. 2 more breaths here. Keep lifting those hips. Wonderful. Slowly inhale, begin to float the torso up. Turn your feet parallel this time. Grab your bricks and walk them all the way over now towards the top of your mat. So turning to the left side. Good. Look towards the horizon. Drop your hips again. Stepping the right foot forward as we make our way into Uttanasana, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, lift to a half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse one dive, the body all the way to standing. Good. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Feel your mountain pose. Breathing deeply in and out, moving that prana through the body, energizing the body. Let's inhale, arms floating overhead, lift the heart, just a little bit of a back bend here. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back into runner's lunge. Exhale, drop your knee. Inhale, allow the arms to rise overhead. Good. As you exhale, hands come to the earth. Inhale, pick up that back right knee. Exhale, left foot steps back to downward dog. Inhale, gliding forward into that plank position, shoulders right over wrist. Exhale, lower knees to the earth. Now lower your chest to the ground, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift to baby cobra. Exhale, melt the heart back down, curling the toes under. Inhale, back to table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let your gaze come forward as you inhale. Step the right foot through into runner's lunge. Exhale, left knee to the earth. Inhale, arms floating overhead. Exhale, let the hands frame the front foot, curling the left toes under. Inhale, lift the left knee. As you exhale, step the left foot forward into Uttanasana. Exhale, fold here. Inhale, lift to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse one dive. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart in Samastiti, ultimate balance. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Little back bend here. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting into a half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees lots as you inhale, stepping the left foot back into runner's lunge. Exhale, knee to the earth. Inhale, arms sweeping overhead. Exhale, hands framing the front foot. Inhale, lift the back left knee. Exhale, step the right foot back to downward dog. Inhale, glide forward to plank. Knees to the earth or full Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, rise into cobra, coming a little higher. Exhale, melt down, curl the toes under. Inhale, press back to table. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, stepping that left foot through again into runner's lunge. Exhale, right knee to the earth. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, let the hands come to the earth. Inhale, right knee lifts. Exhale, right foot steps forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse one dive. Come all the way to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. And let the hands come to the side of your body. Notice your body in space. See if you can shift your weight to the right and shift your weight to the left, forward and back. Good, now shift a little bit more weight into the left leg. Allow your right knee to peel away from the earth and come into tree pose. Either grab your foot, place it high against the left inner thigh, or you can always bring your foot towards your calf muscle. And let the arms reach overhead into a V. Feel that steadiness. Your gaze is forward, strong. Dharana. Dharana means one-pointed attention. When you can have, for long periods of time, one-pointed attention, it means you become a mindful human being. Mindful of every action, conscious of every action. Good. Slowly bring your hands to your heart. Let that right knee flow forward. As you exhale, bring the foot back down to the earth. Gently shifting your weight again from right to left, left to right. Preparing to move the energy into the right leg now. Let the left knee float up. Coming into Vrikasana, tree pose on the other side. Grab your foot. Press the heel firmly against the right inner thigh or bring it to your calf. This time, bring your hands in unification at the heart, symbolizing that we bring together the solar and the lunar channels of the body, governing the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. We can only come into wholeness when we embrace the solar energies within us as well as the lunar. Keeping that strong dharana. Beautiful, one more breath here. Slowly as you inhale, letting that left knee float forward. As you exhale this time, taking a seat in Utkartasana, chair pose, bending your knees, drawing the navel to the spine, keeping your hands at your heart. Let's swim the arms forward as we inhale and then swim them back. See if you can interlace the fingers behind you. Roll and hug the shoulders together and see if you can lengthen your arms. Feel your chest expanding. Let your chin kind of lift away from your sternum. Feel the front of the neck stretching, the throat. Good. Now slowly as you exhale, keep your hands on your lower back. Let your body fold forward. Feeling that gorgeous shoulder stretch. Lift your hips as high as you can. Let your head hang heavy. Feel free to kind of let the arms float away from the low back if that feels okay in your body. It's not necessary, but feel free to go there if you feel inclined to do so. Good. Slowly release the hands. Let them come down to your toes. Inhale, lift to a half lift. As you exhale, fold, soften your knees. I'd like you to step your right foot back into your runner's lunge here. Drop your hips. Make sure that front left knee is over ankle. Take your bricks up a little bit higher. Good. And as you exhale, draw your hip back and see if you can lift your front toes away. Now, in order not to dump all the way into that heel, use your hands on the bricks to push and defy the ground. This will create lightness in your hips and your legs. Keep pulling that left hip back. And you might feel the stretch now a little deeper into the Achilles, calf muscles, back of the knee. Good. One more breath here. Wonderful. As you exhale, I like you to roll your foot down to the earth and then bending that knee as you make your way back into that runner's lunge. Now hop your right foot at least a foot forward so that your right heel can make full contact with the floor. So if your heel is lifted, just take that foot a little bit more forward. Good. Now this is known as pyramid pose. If you look sideways, the legs look as if it's a pyramid. Good. Keep those bricks high side up. Your feet are on a railroad track. Lengthen through the crown. Chin is towards the sternum or the throat. Feel that stretch now through the back side of the left glute and hamstring. Good. Now as you exhale, soften your elbows. See if you can drape your belly button right over that front left thigh and let your head hang heavy. This will be an intense stretch here. Good. Now slowly inhale, floating the torso up until your body is parallel to your yoga mat. Exhale, fold again, really slowly, mindful. Belly towards that left thigh. Let your head hang heavy. Now, if you'd like to go a little deeper, your right hand releases away from your brick and see if you can reach to the back of your calf. Feel that stretch deepen. Now, because you're leaning back towards the right, watch out that your left hip doesn't start to travel forward like this. You have to continue to fight that left hip back. This will give rise to that deep, deep stretch in your body. 2 more breaths. You're doing great. Use that deep breathing. Beautiful. Now slowly release your right hand back to the brick. Inhale, lift your torso. Good. Now allow the left thumb and hand to go into that left hip crease. Use the left heel of the hand to push into that left hip. Now pull your navel in and let the right arm reach towards the front of the room. Strong left glute. Now rise all the way to standing. Make sure you're in one straight line, that we're not collapsing through the low back. Good. Now let the arms swim down and back. And see if you can interlace your hands behind your back, rolling the shoulder blades together and lift through your heart here. Good. Now as you exhale, let your body come back forward. Keep your hands on the low back. Stay here for 2 breaths. Navel to spine. Good. 1 more breath. As you exhale, let your body fold all the way. See if you can keep your hands interlaced behind you. If you feel wobbly, you can always bring one hand to the floor. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Slowly release your hands. Place them on your bricks. Take them now medium side up. Soften through your front left knee. Pick up your right foot and lunge it all the way back. And dropping to that right knee. Take both hands on the inside of your left foot. Turn the bricks medium side down or low side and come back onto your forearms. Back into that lizard lunge here. Nice hip opener. If you like to go a little bit deeper for the next 2 breaths, curl the right toes under and lift the right knee and thigh. One more deep breath here. Wonderful. Slowly as you exhale, lowering that right knee to the earth, placing your hands back on the bricks. Picking up again that back right leg and see if you can drop it towards the left side. And I'd like you to walk your hands over to the right side, setting up frog pose. So dropping to the inside of your left knee. Use the bricks to support you. Come up onto the forearms. Good. Squeeze those knees as far out as you can. To make it a little bit more sustainable, point your toes and bring your big toes toward each other. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, your frog pose, flex your feet and your toes should come well outside your knees. Good. Now don't collapse through your low back or through your shoulders. Make sure your shoulder blades stay protracted, navel to spine. Now as we inhale, we'll begin to glide a little bit forward. As we exhale, send your hips straight back towards your heels. Feel that intensity. There should be a hard stop. When you get to that hard stop, hold for a moment. Good, and then inhale, glide back through. Exhale, gently squeeze the hips back. Stay here for one breath in that intensity. Beautiful. Once more, inhale, gliding through. Exhale, draw back. Stay here 3 breaths. Keep pushing your hips to the wall behind you. Keep drawing that belly button in. One more deep breath in and out. Beautiful. Slowly gliding forward. Bring your big toes toward each other. Glide your hips towards your heels, coming up onto your hands one at a time. And then gently bring in one knee at a time. Now that's a deep hip stretch. So be kind to yourself. Sit back on your heels if you can. If not, just come up on your knees, rolling those shoulders down and back, moving your hips, just kind of unwinding those hips there. Beautiful. Bring your hands back out in front. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees off the floor and take your feet wide again. Coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. Use the bricks here if you like. Either drop your forearms and let your head hang heavy. Slowly as you inhale, begin to flow the torso up, climbing up onto the hands. Taking this time, the right hand in the center. As you inhale, let that left arm float up, feeling the twist. As you exhale, let that top arm flow back down. Inhale, lift and open. Yes, exhale, let that arm flow down. Once more, really rising out of that right shoulder, reaching the left arm up. Good. And as you exhale, let the arm come down, taking the left brick in the center. Make sure the brick is not too far back or too far forward. It should be right under your shoulder. Inhale, allow that right arm to float up. Feel that beautiful twist here. As you exhale, let the arm flow down. So it's a really fluid movement here. Deepening that twist in the body, opening our chest, opening our shoulders. Beautiful. As you exhale, let that top arm come down. And I'd like you to soften into your left knee and turn and pivot. Make your way into that runner's lunge now on the other side. So your right leg should be forward. Your left leg is back. And I'd like you to turn your bricks up this way so that when we're ready to draw those hips back, you have more support, lifting the front toes away from the earth. Really hug that right hip in, let your left hip roll a little bit forward. Maybe you're feeling it more in the back of your knee, maybe in the back of your ankle or calf. Good, one more breath here. Good, now slowly as you exhale, lower the foot back to the earth, bending that knee, making a way back into that runner's lunge, setting up pyramid pose on this side. So your back Left foot hops a little forward so that you can drop your heel to the floor. Your legs, your feet should be on a railroad track. Walk your hands a little forward so that it stays right underneath your shoulder. Lift the heart. Legs are engaged. Press the earth away. Curl your toes up from the floor. And then lengthen through your spine as you inhale. As you exhale, let your navel drop towards that right thigh and let your head bow in last. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale. One more time. Deep breath in, lift and lengthen. Stay here. Now lean slightly more into your left hand. Pull your belly in and take that right thumb against that right hip crease. Really keeping those hips square. Now pull your belly button in and see if you can reach the left arm forward. Right by the side of you. This is a lot of work. Good. One more breath. Good. And one straight line, begin to rise all the way to standing. Good. Exhale, let that arm come down. So make sure you're not collapsing through that low back. Lengthening your tail towards the earth. Swim your arms back. Interlace your fingers. And then roll the heart up. Now really pull your left hip in and back and lift up through your heart center. Good. As you exhale, come forward. Finding that parallel position again. Body is parallel to the earth. There's a lot of work here, especially for that front right glute. Good. As you exhale, see if you can fold. Find that steadiness. Find that steadiness. Good. Release your hands down to the earth. Take the right hand to the back of your ankle and see if your left hand can reach back to your calf and pull yourself in. Going a little bit deeper here. Beautiful. One more breath. Slowly release your hands to the floor. Now walk your hands back to the left side. Turn and pivot. Your feet in the perfect position to turn them out. And then take a seat into your Hindi squat, dropping your sit bones down. Feel your heels on the floor, fingertips to the ground, and start to lift through your heart. If that's too much, please use your bricks and you can sit on the edge of it to help you gain better posture and to keep those heels firmly rooted on the earth. So for those who are in full Hindi, start to bring your palms together at the heart, really pressing those inner thighs open with your elbows. Nice. 3 more breaths here. Feel that wonderful stretch in your low back. Keep sending the energy into your heels. Let your heels get heavy. Feeling the whole bottom of your foot rooting into the ground. One more breath here. Beautiful. Slowly as you exhale, bring your hands towards the ground. Lift your hips up high and bring your feet just outside your hips and let your body fold. Sway your body from right to left. And then north and south as if you're saying yes. Inhale, floating the torso up. Gently walk your hands over towards the left side. Turn and pivot. Bricks come back with you and step back to downward facing dog here. Good. Allow the big toes to touch. And as you inhale, allow the left leg to float towards the sky. Open your hip. Your hips are nice and open. Sparkle your toes. Bending that left knee, leaning towards the right side. Good. And as you exhale, begin to square your hip. Look forward and let that right knee land in between your hands for pigeon. Sliding that left leg as far back as you can. Good. Pulling that left knee to the side of your mat. Now lift up first. So as you inhale, lift up through your heart. Good. As you exhale, let your body come forward, making your way into sleeping swan. Use bricks if you like, but otherwise invite you to come all the way down and relax deeply, closing your eyes. If there is a tendency to roll onto that left hip, place a blanket underneath of it, or a towel, or a small brick. Breathing deeply all the way into the bowl of your pelvis. When you release your breath, just breathe out everything that does no longer serve you. Don't hold on to worry. Don't hold on to fear. Beautiful. 3 more deep breaths in and out here. Now very slowly and gently start to float the forehead away. Climbing up onto our hands, lift your torso. We're going to go a little bit deeper into that expression of pigeon. So see if you can curl your right toes under, lift your right knee thigh, and just slide that right leg a little further back. And then see if you can bend that back leg here. And keep lifting through your heart. Some of you may be able to reach your hand back towards that foot. Keep lifting through the navel. You can use a brick to support yourself. Beautiful. And slowly as you exhale, releasing that leg towards the earth, bringing your hands towards the ground, curling the right toes under, lifting the right knee and thigh, and step back into your downward facing dog, paddling out the feet here. Notice the difference between the left side and the right side. So let's balance our bodies out. Bring your big toes together. As you inhale, allow the right leg to float to the sky. Lift and open your hip, bend your knee, and lean towards the left. Good. As you exhale, square your hip, look forward, and let that right knee come in between your hands, sliding the left leg back this time, as far back as it goes. Good. And then lift through your heart as you inhale. Good. As you exhale, walk forward. Get cozy, get comfortable. Make sure there's no distractions anywhere in the body so that you can really drop in and be present in this moment. Three more deep breaths in and out to really relax your shoulders. And also very important that your jaw is relaxed. Allow the mouth to open slightly. Allow that expression on your face to soften. Now very slowly begin to float the forehead away as you inhale. Climbing up onto one hand at a time so you can lift your torso, accessing a little deeper pigeon. So curling the left toes under, lift your left knee and thighs and slide that leg just a tad further back. So when you bend your back leg, the knee's not digging into the floor. You can use the brick and this will allow you to lift your heart a little bit more. Notice how this is deeper, requires a little bit more of a back bend as well. If you can, release your left hand, holding onto the ankle or foot. Make sure shoulders stay square towards the front and lift through your heart. Good, slowly releasing the hand, let the foot release back to the earth. Good, I'd like you to roll into your right hip this time, and then slowly let the left leg come around towards the front, and just give yourself a little shake out here. Little shake out for the legs, good. And then take one brick to the side here as we come sideways, rolling our spine down to the floor. One vertebrae at a time, pulling the knees into your chest, coming into that wind relieving posture. Let the knees fall away and just feel that nice low back stretch here. Good, now gently bringing your knees together, and I'd like you to drop both knees to the right side. Now that brick, grab that brick. What I'd like you to do is extend that top leg, which should be your left. And then you place that foot on top of the brick. And you can do the highest setting, medium, this is medium, or low setting. You choose what feels right in your body. And really make sure that that left shoulder blade remains on the ground. And let your head turn towards the left side. Enjoy that deep twist here. Make sure that foot stays flexed on that top leg so that the leg is engaged. We can really get deep into the muscles of the leg here. The lower part of the hamstring, into the gluteals, back of the knee. Good, now slowly bring your head center. Allow the top leg to bend so it's back over your bottom knee. And then slowly float the top leg up. Rolling back onto your low back, let that right knee join, and then again, grabbing those legs in towards your chest, let out a sigh. Good, and then bringing your knees together, and we'll roll ourselves over to the left side, coming into that twist. At this time, allow your right leg to extend, placing the brick on that side and let your foot rest on it. I'm just gonna turn a little bit so that I'm not hitting the wall. So do what feels right in your body. Make sure that that right shoulder blade stays on the floor, flexing that right foot. Slowly, your next inhale, let the head come center. Let that top right leg bend, let it come back over the left knee. Slowly float that right leg up and then the left leg. Good, square your hips so that you're back on the earth, pulling the knees back one by one into your chest. Letting out a sigh here. And we'll come into our last posture, a gentle inversion to complete our practice today. So reach for that brick. And I'd like you to lift your hips away from the earth and slide that brick underneath your sacrum here. So really make sure you feel stable on top of it and really, really protected here. Walk your shoulder blades a little bit more towards the top of your mat. Lengthen through the crown, and you should feel a nice lengthening sensation through your body. Now bring one knee in at a time, extending the legs towards the sky. Feel free to come into full shoulder stand, but otherwise stay on the bricks here. And you can come into any variation, bound ankle pose, splits position, or Hanumanasana position. Do what feels right in your body. Three more breaths here. Now, wherever your legs are, slowly start to bring them back together. You can move into Plow Pose or Uttanasana if you're on top of the brick. So just let your knees drop towards your chest. Take them a little bit wider so your knees can continue to drop to the side of your body, and flex your feet. Feel that beautiful stretch along the low back into the mid back. Good, and then slowly let one foot drop towards your buttock. Let that foot come towards the floor. If you're in full plow pose, begin to gently roll your spine back to the earth. Gently bring the other leg. For those who are coming from full plow pose, just roll yourself all the way to the earth. For the rest of us, we're still on the brick. Take a few breaths here. Sigh out. And then slowly lift your hips and roll your spine down to the earth as we take our position in final Shavasana. Take a little bit of space here for yourself. Just a few minutes to integrate the experience. Give yourself this time so the nervous system remains in a calm, tranquil state. And the blood can flow into all these newly open and expanded spaces within your body, rejuvenating the physical body, your mental body, as well as the energy body. And allow yourself to sink deeper into your awareness. Allow yourself to sink deeper into that inner knowingness that resides deep in the chambers of your heart. No one can ever steal that away from you. That which resides in the chambers of your heart can never be taken away. Now draw a deep inhalation through the nose. Feel yourself filling from your toes all the way to the crown of your head. And then let out a giant release through the mouth. And allow some movement to return in the toes and the fingers. And then take another deep inhalation from your toes all the way to your fingertips now as you reach your arms overhead like a big body yawn. Expand your whole being. When you're ready to sigh it out, sweep the arms down as you release your breath, having one knee at a time into your chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug here, rocking your body from side to side, and then allow yourself to fall into a side lying position. And from that side lying position, take as much time as you need, but allow yourself to rise into a seated posture. Spine is tall, upright, shoulders down and back. Bringing our palms together at the heart and allow your forehead to bow in to the intelligence of the heart. The symbol for mind to heart and heart to mind, when they work in unison or in entrainment, there is great coherence. And when we're in that coherent state, we arrive into flow state. And flow state is a beautiful space to be in at all times. It will enjoy heightened creativity, heightened intuitive powers. We will have more synchronistic moments in our life. And it feels like grace is always backing us. So we'll complete this practice with the sacred sound of creation, the sacred sound of Om. We'll breathe in to sigh, and then we'll breathe in to chant. So it's inhale to sigh. Inhale to chant. Shanti, peace. The light in me bows and honors the light in you. Namaste.